Hello, hello. This is John Gringo.dev. How y'all doing out there? Forgive me for being a little bit sexier than usual today. I am off to the gym at some point in the very near future. But wanted to follow up on my video earlier this week talking about why we build things, as opposed to focusing on tools and all of that stuff, and expand on my thoughts in light of all of the, let's call it what it is, hype around the View Transitions API and Astro 3.0, all sorts of related things. And I don't really care about the specifics. Like, it doesn't really matter that much. I just see all of this excitement. I'm actually on my screen right now. I'm looking, I think Theo has a video. Astro's new features have me rethinking everything. And I mean, really? Rethinking everything. I mean, I realize it's not intended to be literal, but still, it's just, we get so wound up and excited over things that frankly are not that important. I think view transitions are cool, right? Like having a slightly more elegant way to transition from one page to another, stuff that you could only do with a complicated app router before, like whatever. All that's great as far as it goes. But I think as builders, we should collectively be aiming higher. There are a lot of problems that we face as a species. And at one point in time, 10, 20, 30 years ago, whenever we all started, or today, whatever. But chances are, at some point, we all thought that maybe we can start building in order to make something better. And like, at least I did, right? Like, I kind of saw technology as being this I vaguely identified it with freedom, right? It's like we can usher in the future somehow with this stuff. And I didn't quite know how. I was also like maybe 12, but like I just remember that feeling of like anything is possible with this stuff. Like that's it. View Transitions API, I mean, great. Astro 3.0, multi-page apps, easier than before, great, But it doesn't quite have that lightning in a bottle feeling like the 90s did, where it seemed like everything was moving online and like the future was just going to be like characteristically different, qualitatively different, and that feeling, it's not the same today anyway. And I don't think these things, these little fiddling around the edges of little technology. Again, no disrespect to the people working on it, right? Like, I mean, I think it's great that we can do certain things easier than before or whatever. But fundamentally, we are talking about doing purely aesthetic things a little bit easier than before, right? I mean, that doesn't feel that meaningful, right? So I don't know. I can only speak about myself because I know myself the best. And I just know that I want to spend my very limited time on this planet, like everybody's, focusing on things that I think are actually meaningful. And I think there's a whole lot of unpacking to do around what is meaning and all of that. And I don't mean to get overly philosophical, but just, I think we all kind of understand intuitively that there is a difference between shaving a couple of kilobytes off a page load or making a view transition slightly easier to achieve and, pick your favorite cause, solving world hunger or whatever it is, right? Curing disease. All sorts of things where, they're hard problems. That's the entire point. We're builders, and builders solve hard problems. And so, like, I want to spend my time thinking about stuff like that. And when in doubt, if I don't think that I can do anything or something, like, that's an excuse to learn, right? I mean, physics, mathematics, various parts of science. I mean, there are all sorts of things that we could be doing with our time other than consuming the same video from 5 different creators covering the same new API, right? So anyway, this is less aimed at you and more aimed at me. I think we all face a challenge of spending our time wisely in all senses of the word. So that is the thought that I am going to be bringing into this Friday night and this weekend. I will see you guys next time, which may or may not be next week. I actually have family in town. So very excited about that, but I may be a little bit incommunicado. We shall see. But in any case, I hope everybody is well and that everybody stays sharp and stays thinking. We'll talk next time.